So one of the different things that we always seem to get into is a lot of these celebrities start to get outed for a lot of their past actions, sexual misconduct, and these different things, I believe, in my opinion, that I call humiliation rituals, in which a lot of these celebrities are being brought to the forefront for them to have their name tarnished. And because maybe they didn't obey the Brotherhood or did something against the interest, or it was their time to pay the piper by having to go through different things where they were going to be outed for their actions. But as we know, what happens in Hollywood, anything that is done in the dark usually comes to the light. So usually a lot of people think that they can do things in secret, but more than likely it's going to come out tenfold and you will be exposed for your actions. So to say, today I want to talk about P. Diddy, and I really want to talk from a surface level where I don't want to really dig deep into why is it that he's going through what he's going through, more or less the fact of the matter that when it comes to certain things about him, this has been allegations that's been coming along about him for a long time. So, I know one of my favorite people, they usually say, oh, he's a Batiman. Or, you have a couple of people out there that will relate him to about his questionable sexuality. But the thing about it is, a lot of people understand this. To be a craft of the Brotherhood, you have to be fluid. You have to be open to a lot of the different things that is offered to you, especially when you're in a certain financial status within the Brotherhood. But as we have an understanding, P. Diddy being a so-called black man in America, he cannot achieve the same success or get into the same bracket as certain other individuals, therefore by race, because they will not allow him in. Whether that I didn't even want to go there, but maybe something like crossbow or whatever it is, society, certain societies he is not naturally allowed in. He still has to play his role and understand he will not get there. Now, I have no idea if he's affiliated with Divine Nine, or, he's been affiliated with certain groups that might be affiliated to certain black people of a certain society, but I won't go there. But as terms as P. Diddy's record, for him, he's always been into some type of scandal. It hasn't been any difference. I congratulate a black man for owning a record label for as long as he did, but being in the practices, there was always something that was going along with P. Diddy, even since his days when he was trying to promote Notorious B.I.G. back in the 1990s. Such as so, we remember the story about how P. Diddy was honorably responsible for a fire that happened during the concert that Notorious B.I.G. had at City College of New York in 1991. That was in Hamilton Heights, Manhattan. Otherwise than that, a lot of the times him being involved with, screwing over a lot of his artists, and that Bad Boy Records had a very bad reputation about not really caring about their artists, not pushing their records through, and trying to find the newest talents. And then, the whole entire debacle about how he had that show on MTV, Making the Band, which was in the early 2000s, about how he wanted people to play his assistant. And so by playing his assistants whilst trying to become the next rapper in the game, he had the brothers and sisters walk all the way out to Brooklyn to the Cheesecake Factory to get him cheesecake. The grimy life of a boss telling people what to do in terms of how they're going to make it in the industry. How hungry are you for it? What you going to do? What you going to do for me? And all the sacrifices that need to be made. I do agree that in this day and age, that nobody should be kissing nobody's ass in order to get to where they need to get to in life. Do what you feel is right. And so with that being said, right now is the hashtag DiddyGate, and I just want to give my commentary on what is it that I think about P. Diddy in general, not to stir anything and getting deep into the conversation, like I said, but just to give a synopsis on what I'm thinking. First and foremost, the whole entire thing, that wasn't the first thing that happened, but, right recently that Cassie came forward and wanted to go ahead and out P. Diddy for the nonsense that he did to her, which include physical violence and all these different things whilst they was in a relationship, in which on the outside looking in, I could tell that there was something going on between him and Cassie. From an outside looking in, don't know how, but I could just tell. I could tell that Cassie was probably more of a shy girl, more introverted. She didn't really want to be involved in a lot of things. And I'm pretty sure P. Diddy did use her like a dog. Otherwise than that, a lot of people coming out the woodworks to talk about his infamous parties, even to the fact that matter that Cat Williams back in the day had a comedic shtick about talking about how there were certain people that went to his parties and did some very questionable things in there. But I mean, if you really think about it, a lot of these rappers that were coming to the forefront about things, there was some questionable things that other artists said about them, but I wouldn't be able to clarify it because I wasn't there. You know, certain things about how he was into dildos or how he was into, there were certain dudes at the parties that were performing fellatio for other people. And these were men to men, right? And then on top of that, someone like P. Diddy, you know, trying to figure out these masters or try to pay people back their money for the records that was sold. That not going well. And now you get to the point that they started to bring in other people of prominence like TD Jakes and about how TD Jakes was involved in those parties. But you never know who you're going to get when you go to those parties. P. Diddy offering 50 Cent to go to the party, and 50 Cent said, hell no. P. Diddy offering Fabulous to go to the party, and Fabulous feeling very oddly uncomfortable in that interview because the fact of the matter is P. Diddy was trying to holler at him in a way that just did not seem straight at all. What I'll say is this. It doesn't surprise me that the day would come for P. Diddy to be outed for his actions in the past. And that when it comes to P. Diddy and this hashtag DiddyGate, I wouldn't necessarily describe it to the likings of Jeffrey Epstein. I would just more describe it to the likes of the fact of the matter that you do have an entertainer, and it's not about downing another black man. Because I know someone tried to make the comparison of P. Diddy and TD Jakes to someone like, I don't even know, like someone like Bill Cosby. And I was like, we knew that nigga Bill Cosby was guilty. I don't care what you say. Bill Cosby admitted himself proudly on interviews and smiling about it. The fact of the matter that he was handing women Spanish fly. It is what it is. P. Diddy never came forward and admitted his sexuality, even though that was a topic of conversation and mainly a running gag joke for years on end. I would say even over a decade about how it was. Maybe to the likings of someone like Africa Bambaataa in the Zulu nation. But again, a lot of these dudes that's in prominence, whether they be black, white, or any other nationality, will conform to the very nuanced things in society that we would deem as alternative lifestyles. And I wouldn't necessarily say that those brothers are gay. In fact, I would say that they are fluid and that sexuality goes beyond just the man and woman dynamic. It goes to the man and man, pansexuality, and all these different things out there that would be related that is outside the norm and the binary of the dynamic relationship between man and woman. Same thing that I would say allegedly about P. Diddy. But that's my takes on it. What is your thoughts about it? Give me your thoughts in the comment section. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Peace.